Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about area and perimeter today. This first part is kind of a review, and then we're going to go into talking about finding area and perimeter of sort of odd shapes. So that part might not be as much a review. So just hang in here with me for a little bit of review, and then we'll get to the rest of the stuff. So the first thing to review is just what area and perimeter are. So area is the whole inside. So I wrote think carpet. And it's length times width. So if you're buying a carpet or tiles, you need to know the square feet of the whole inside of the room. If you just measured around the outside of the room, you would not have enough carpet. So that is length times width, and that's to find out the whole inside. So really the area is the entire inside. And then perimeter is around the edge. So think a fence, different measurement, right? So you add all the way around. So perimeter is going to go around the outside edge. So with enough information, you can certainly figure out both of these. So here's a really simple rectangle, 3 feet across, 2 feet down. And so to figure out the area and perimeter, all you would have to do for area is length times width. So 3 times 2 is 6, and your area is going to be 6 feet. We actually do 6 feet squared because it's square feet across the middle. And then your perimeter, you're going to add all around the outside. So you're going to do 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 3 more, which is 8, plus 2 more, which is 10. In other words, 3 plus 3 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's going to give you your perimeter. So that's just sort of the basic finding area and perimeter of a basic shape. And then next we're going to go into finding area and perimeter of sort of more unusual shapes. All right, we're back with kind of our little bit of an unusual shape here to figure out, but it's nothing that you guys can't handle. You just need to make sure that you are being a little bit of a detective and breaking this shape up a little bit. So the first thing I want you to notice is that we don't have all of our information for the sides, but we do have enough information to find it. So the first thing I would look at, so step 1 would be to label the unknowns. Because I do have a few unknowns, and if I'm being asked to find the perimeter of this, I need to make sure that I have all my sides covered. So how am I going to be a detective to figure out my unknowns? Well, I know that this one is 10 going all the way across. Therefore, and stick with me for a second, I know that this is 10 going all the way across, but it doesn't go all the way across. It cuts out here. But luckily, it gives me this piece of information right here. And it tells me that this is 7, which means I have enough information to find this unknown part over here, because 7 plus blank needs to equal 10. Okay, so in other words, this and this are the same length. So I need this to equal 10. So 7 plus blank is going to equal 10. And I know that 7 plus 3 is going to equal 10. So I know that this little part right here is going to equal 3. In order to find perimeter and go around the edge, I have one more little unknown piece right here. And similar to that, I already have the information that this whole side is 6 and that this is 3. And since I know that this all has to add up to be equal, I know that 6, this whole thing, has to equal 6. So that would mean that 3 plus blank would have to equal 6. So that gives me enough information to fill in this piece of the puzzle over here. Okay, and I'm going to go over another one of these in a minute if you didn't quite get that. So now I have enough information. Whoops, didn't mean to erase that 3 there. Now I have enough information. Do I have enough information to find my perimeter? Do I have all of my sides covered? I do. So now I have enough information to go 7 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 10 plus 6. So I would do 10 plus 6 equals 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So my perimeter would be 32. Now, however, I need to take this weird shape and I need to figure out the area, the inside. Now, it matters that this part is cut out over here. There's 2 different ways I can approach this. I'm going to show you 2. So label the unknowns was my first step. Then my second step is find the perimeter by adding. So I did that. Done and done. Not so bad. Now I'm asking you to find the area though. So let's think about what we want to do with that. So with area, since this is a little bit of an odd shape, I need to make it into a not odd shape. So I'm actually going to draw a line. There's more than one way that you could do this. I'm going to choose to do it this way to make it into two normal size shapes. Now I can easily figure out the area of one and the area of the other and add them together. I know that 6 times 7 is 42. I hope you said that at home. 42. So I know that 6 times 7 is 42. And I know that 3 times 3 equals 9. And then I can take my 42 plus my 9, and I can add them up to get 51. So that is how I would find my area and my perimeter. I'm going to show you a little bit of a different approach. It really sort of depends on how you prefer to visualize this, because the other way that you could do it is you could find your area of the whole shape pretending that this part here is filled in. That would make this 10 times 6 equals 60. And then you would need to find the area of this little part that's not really here. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And you'd have to, instead of adding them together, you'd actually subtract it because that part's absent, right? It's not there. And 60 minus 9 is also 51. So you can see that that did eventually get us to the same place. So your direction now, if you feel like you're ready to run with this and you feel like you could go solve these problems, then I want you to just shut me off and just go. If you feel like these odd shapes threw you for a bit of a loop and you want to stick around and do another practice, then please keep me going. Maybe you just love to hear my beautiful voice. Then please keep me going and watch another practice problem so that you can get a little bit more practice in with this before going off on your own. Okay, so you make that decision to stay or go. All right, I'm back with another little bit of a weird shape, and we're going to do our detective work because remember, our first step is going to always be to label the unknowns. So how am I going to do that with this one? So remember, the first place I can look is to find out, do I know the whole side of one side? And I do. That's 10. So that must mean that if this whole one side is 10, that this whole thing must be 10. And if this whole thing must be 10, and I know that this is 6, then do I have enough information to figure out these two? So I want you to think about that for a second, okay? This whole thing must equal 10 so that it's equal to this. So this whole thing will equal 10. And I have two unknowns here. I'm going to make them blue. I have an unknown here, and I have an unknown here. But I have a known here, right? So now I have 6 plus something must equal 10. So I actually have two unknowns, but they're all going to go into figuring this out. So if I know that my total must equal 10, 6 plus something, and I know that they have to be equal. So for example, if I thought to myself, well, I could put 4 here. 6 plus 4 equals 10, but I didn't take into account this guy over here, right? So it can't be 4. What can I do for two numbers that would fit in here, that my whole thing would equal 10? Well, I know that this has to equal 4 altogether, so I can divide that in 2 and do this way. So that would give me a 2 and a 2, okay? So 6 plus 2 equals 10, matchy matchy, and I'm good. This unknown over here is really easy because I just take it from the other side. No detective work needed. So now I'm checking all my edges. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Don't got it right here. But again, that one's really easy because you just glance over to the other side and pull that 5. Okay, so now going all the way around, do I have all my answers? I do. So now I'm going to go 10 plus 5 is 15, plus another 5 is 20, 22, 24, 5 plus 5 is 10, 34 plus 6 more is 40. So my perimeter is going to equal 40. Okay, not so bad. Now we have to figure out the area. So again, I want to make this into a more normal shape, find two areas and add them together. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to draw a line right here, and I'm going to say that 5 times 6 equals 30. And then I'm going to look down here and I'm going to say 5 times 10 equals 50. And then I can add 50 plus 30, which equals 80. So that's a little bit of a second practice on finding perimeter and area of unusual shapes. You just have to do a little bit of detective work to fill in those unknowns. I would really highly encourage you when you're looking at this to always look and see what you do know and use that to find what you don't know. So go find those practice problems now and come check in with me during office hours because I'm happy to go over them with you.